Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, which I assume is the final Mission Impossible movie. Gonna guess by the title, the way the actors are talking about it, and the ending, which seemed kind of anticlimactic if they did make another one at this point. But honestly, it's not impossible. I didn't even mean to make that pun. So this movie has a lot on its shoulders. The Mission Impossible series is one of the most consistent action series ever made. Let's be real. Nobody walks into an eighth movie of a series expecting it to be good, except for Mission Impossible. Like, it's like the only one. Everything else that even gets to like 4 or 5, you just write it off as awful. Um, but when you get to 8 and you still are satisfied with a good movie, that's saying something. I cannot think of any other examples of an eighth movie in a series featuring the same main character that is still good. Even James Bond counts because like most of the James Bond movies kind of suck. This movie had a huge weight on its shoulders, giving a worthy goodbye to Ethan Hunt and all these other characters that we've grown to love over the last 29 years. I mean, I'm 22 and I only started watching these movies a few years ago, but I gotta say I'm really invested. It has so many characters. There's so many characters in this movie, and I guess that's to be expected because it's the eighth movie and every movie introduces more characters. But at times it feels like the cast is a bit bloated. Like there's maybe a little too many characters in this movie. And I like how even the small characters are played by famous actors. Like you have Ron Swanson in the movie who has like 4 minutes of screen time and then he dies. And then you have Mr. Milchek in this movie playing a Navy commander or something. That's really cool. You have Rebecca from Ted Lasso in this movie playing a badass. Like, there's so many people in this movie, and at times it feels like there's a little too much going on. I think the ending, when you have those three main plots going on at the same time, you have the Ethan on the side of the building, on the side of the plane, going on at the same time as Haley Atwell's character and Benji trying to defuse the bomb, and then you have Angela Bassett like, and the president, the whole assassination thing, whole trying to make the decision and to kill a whole city or not. It's intense, but at the same time, I feel like when you have so many plots like this, it's kind of hard to focus on any of them. But honestly, I think the movie did a good job. It was almost 3 hours long. My bladder felt like it was gonna explode by the end of it, but I didn't want to get up. I don't want to miss anything. Killers of the Flower Moon. I left halfway through the movie to use the bathroom and came back, and I felt like I missed nothing. This movie, there's so much stuff that's going on. It's insane. You have a bunch of crazy set pieces. Like you have the plane scene with the two planes. You have the scene where he goes underwater into the submarine, which was intense because I hate underwater scenes. That I just hate being underwater. It's like a fear of mine. I despise it. I can't breathe under. I mean, I can't hold my breath underwater. So that was intense. Um, so many shootouts and chase scenes, and it's all crazy. At some point, you kind of get numb to it. So by the end of the movie, when he's hanging from the side of the plane, you're like, oh god. But it is entertaining. I feel like Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise are the only two men in their 60s who could carry an action movie of this scale, and I think it's great. Tom Cruise's stunt work is insane. His acting is great too. He's able to have these badass moments while also having these very somber moments too, because I think a major film theme of this film is sacrifice because Luther dies in like the first half hour of the movie, which is very upsetting because he's been with us since day one. He's like the only one who's been in only 8 movies besides Ethan. So it's very sad to see him go. Um, but it reinforces the themes of the series, I think, because this is a series where anybody could die at any time unless they're Ethan Hunt. Like, obviously, he can't die. But we've had so many people die throughout the series. Um, we've had the president before, Angela Bassett. I forgot his name. The guy from 30 Rock. Rebecca Ferguson. They have his original team in the first one. Like, nobody's safe in this series. Not even Ron Swanson. But all the stunt work, all the big action set pieces are insane. Even if, like, it's obvious some of it's a green screen. um, the cinematography is great too. I think Christopher McQuarrie is one of the best action directors of this decade, at least. All his set pieces are great. I think the performances were great as well. Not just from Tom Cruise. Of course, I think Simon Pegg does a great job. Benji has always been my favorite character in the Mission Impossible series, and I was worried that he was going to die at the end. Thankfully, that did not happen, and he walks off into the sunset. So that's great, you know. Um, I'm just glad Benji had a happy ending. It's hard to connect to some of the other characters, like Haley Atwell. I thought she was cool. I love her character. I mean, I love her actress. I think she's a badass, but it's hard to really connect with her character because she's only been in like 2 movies. But Benji's been around for a while, so I was really worried about him whenever he was in any danger. Him and Ethan have such good relationship. They have this very trusting friendship between the two of them, and I always love when they're on screen together. This script shows a lot of deep emotions as well as the action scenes, which makes it adds weight to it. You know, if it's just a bunch of action scenes, but you don't give a fuck about any of the characters, what's the point of any of it? I think Angela Bassett does a great performance in this movie, playing the president. She's tasked with a very difficult decision on whether to kill an entire city or kill the entire world. Like, it's crazy. Like, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I think she's a great actress in this movie. Kind of strongest performance, even if she doesn't really have any action scenes. I like, even though this movie's very long, I feel like there's a lot of cuts to it. Like, some of it feels a little choppy, like those scenes missing from it. Maybe someday we get a director's cut that's like 4 hours long. Because sometimes it just seems like scenes with like, you're like, okay, hold on, how did they get here? You know? Um, the cutting's very fast and the pacing is good, but sometimes it's like, okay, I'm a little confused. How did we get here? I also like how at this point Ethan's willing to recruit almost anybody to his team. Like that blonde girl who tried to kill him in the last movie, she's on the team now. This the guy from the original Mission Impossible movie, well not the original, the one from the '90s. He's back, and his wife, who doesn't even speak English, and she's like stays along around way longer than I thought she would be. It's kind of funny, but I do think her and her husband are cute. So yeah, overall, very enjoyable movie. Even if it didn't really feel like a finale, like it didn't feel like the grand finale. It just felt like another Mission Impossible movie, which is fine. I do like the references they make to the original movie that kind of bookends it, and you also have that like references to the third movie. Even though it's very clear they did not plan this out from the beginning, they just shoehorned that in though. But I still like it. It maintains a sense of continuity. So is this movie perfect? No. Did I love it anyway? Yes. um, I'll miss you, Ethan Hunt. You are awesome. One of the coolest action heroes ever. I'm glad you're not dead. I'm glad Benji's not dead. I'm glad the other characters aren't dead, except for Lethal. Rest in peace. You are awesome. And Ron Swanson, I barely knew you, but you were kind of cool too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.